Hello and welcome to the Parenting Tools podcast. My name's Jason.
And I am Jordan. This is the podcast where two parenting tools talk about the hilarious chaos.
There you go.
No, it's not. It's the relentless beauty.
That's brilliant. Let's keep it in.
Ever since I said, you can't do the bit you wrote, I've messed it up every time. The relentless beauty and the hilarious chaos of being parents.
There we go. That is it. And we are the Parenting Tools. Not many actual parenting tool tips.
Not at all.
No.
Do you know, after we decided to call this podcast the Parenting Tools and went out there with it,
Yeah.
I thought, I wonder what the definition is of a tool. Because it's not the best of phrases, right? It's like, oh, he's a bit of a tool.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Is it?
Yeah. It's like, oh,
Cool.
what? Yeah, it's like, what a tool.
I'll don't look that up.
We went with it. And now, hopefully we can bring a nicer meaning to the word tool.
I thought it was like useful.
Well, it is, but yeah, if someone's being a bit of a tool,
Yeah. They're not
it's
being very useful, are they?
No, they're not being useful at all.
Sweet, I'm so tired. Sweet, I'm so tired. You see me this way.
Well, Jordan, here we are. Episode number 11.
Yeah.
And
11.
you've just come back off holiday.
I have indeed.
Fresh off the plane. Yesterday?
This morning.
This morning?
Really?
Really?
Yeah, it was
Wow,
like, well,
mate.
midnight, so
Oh, yeah. This morning.
So, yeah.
I'd call that last night. But
yeah. So yeah, feeling all right. There was no time difference to where we went, so it was all good.
Where'd you go?
Went to Tenerife.
Nice.
Yeah, it was lovely.
So it was, we'll get into this a little bit later, but what was the setup?
So we went with some friends, shout out Luke and Jen,
Yeah.
and we booked it one Tuesday. We flew out the next Tuesday. So
Nice.
it really was. And now, what day is it today? Tuesday? Wednesday?
Wednesday.
We got back last night, yeah. So a whirlwind.
Last minute. So
Yeah.
two sets of parents. How many kids?
4 kids.
4 kids.
4 kids. So they've got a little girl, Grace, who's going to turn 3. What days does this come out on a Friday?
Yeah.
Anytime now.
Wow.
So we went through first pregnancy together with them and first birth and all sorts.
Oh,
and then
lovely.
they've got a little girl who's now 6 months.
So you got ratios there, one adult to 1 child. That scares me.
Wasn't enough.
If I have to say, yeah, 2 to 1 even seems. I feel like we're understaffed as it is.
Understaffed. That's what puts me off about going for a third. It's the being outnumbered. I just think.
I feel outnumbered with 1.
Yeah. You look one way, another one's gone.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how like these people have like 4 or 5 kids, and
Mm.
even more. It blows my mind.
I want to put that out there. I want to put out a request. We've got it on our list of people to talk to. People with all the kids.
all the
All
kids.
the kids.
All the
Someone with
kids.
like 8 kids. We want to speak to you.
Because they also all those sorts of parents, they still manage to function, and I'm shocked.
They're always dead lovely.
Yeah.
People with all the kids, like they're always really nice.
It's either they're just really nice or they just don't care anymore.
Yeah. They're just so laid back. They've got to be that they're dead nice, and the kids are always nice as well.
Oh, amazing. Well, John, we've had a message in. We've got a story from one of the listeners.
Smashing.
Please do send in your stories, your comments, your questions to at Parenting Tools Pod on Instagram and TikTok, or you can send us an email.
parentingtoolspod@gmail.com.
Look at that. So this is from Lauren on Instagram.
Shout out, Lauren. That looks lengthy.
It is lengthy.
All
It's
the
a
best.
good one though. It's a good one.
I'd be here for a long time if it was me reading this.
So me and Alyssa used to go to a baby music class held in an old people's home. That's a comical setting to begin
Circle
with.
of life, that is.
That's brilliant. It was great for everyone. The oldies loved seeing the new babies dancing and would often coo over them. So one class, Alyssa must have been about 6 months old, maybe slightly younger. We were walking around dancing with the sentry blanket. The sentry blanket? You've said that there like that's a common thing that everyone knows.
What does it smell of?
Anyway, and Alyssa grabbed onto something in front of her. I literally looked behind me for a second as there was something on the floor. I didn't realise that what she had grabbed onto was the wig of an old lady who was dancing with us. I tried to unclasp her hands, but she had such a tight grip that she pulled it clean off her head. And then just shook it around.
Oh, no.
It gets worse.
Does it?
Worst thing about it, the lady didn't even notice. She spent the rest of the class dancing around without a clue that her wig was on her chair. The old people around her kept saying, that baby stole her wig. Did you see that? The baby destroyed her hair. She said, safe to say, I was glad for lockdown. We never went back.
Oh my word. Lauren, that's incredible.
That's brilliant.
That's something that you'd see on a film and you think, oh, that would never happen. Like,
Yeah.
like on a Dumb and Dumber.
I get it. Yeah.
And you think, oh, they've gone a bit silly there.
They've gone a bit over the top there. That would, of course, she'd notice.
Oh my goodness. And people are like telling the woman.
Yeah.
Or they're just saying.
And you can imagine because she's so old, she's not got a clue
hear.
what's going on.
That's amazing. Oh my god. What would you do? How would you react?
I think I would just hope that she didn't notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing there they've just slid it onto the chair, hoping she'd just, slide away and put it back on her head. You wouldn't bring it up, would you?
Oh, bless her. How'd you give it back? Really sorry. This is yours.
Oh.
Oh, goodness me.
Aren't they like glued on?
I don't know. I'll find out one day, I'm sure.
There we go, yeah.
Oh, superb. Thank you, Lauren. And if you've got a funny story or any sort of question or story, you can send it in to us at Parenting Tools Pod.
Yes, please do. Well, John, we like to have opening questions from the listener.
We do. We like to open with questions.
And today we've got several.
Many
Several. I think we're the same thing.
We were. I've always understood several to be like more than a couple.
I'm pretty sure there's an actual chart, isn't there, of what couple means? Then a few.
A few.
Several?
Plenty.
I'm out of my depth there.
Not a clue. But if we haven't used yours today, don't worry, we will use it. We've got it saved, and I'm sure they'll come up in a future episode.
So we've got one from Daniel.
Shout out, Daniel.
It says, do you eat any baby food yourselves? And there's an example, all rusks. I like how he's highlighted rusk.
It sounds
he's looking for confirmation here.
Sounds like Daniel likes to dip his fingers in the rust. The rust?
The rust.
In the rusk bucket.
Saying that, actually, at the kid's birthday party, we were at, you were hosting.
Yep.
Someone
That
told me
happened?
that. Yeah,
Gosh.
so that was a week ago.
Our little boy turned 3.
Oh my word!
That happened.
That's a good
The
topic.
day we flew out.
What a birthday present!
Yeah,
You
what a
set the bar high there.
What a birthday present. Sit there for 5 hours and don't move. Yeah, it sounds like Daniel likes to nibble on a rusk and is just looking for backup.
Do you eat any baby food? Now, I wouldn't say it's part of my diet now.
No, not myself.
But obviously being curious when
I've done.
what this little pouches, little fruit
Yeah.
pouches, delicious.
Yeah, if you get it on your finger, just lick it off.
Yeah. I wouldn't go again.
They are horrific.
And they get the weird children's crisps things, which are
yeah.
supposed to be healthy crisps.
Yeah,
They're rank.
nah, not nice. Crisps shouldn't be green. Any crisp that is green is just no.
And if it's
no
green,
go.
I expect it to taste like pickled onion.
Oh no, see that's wrong. You're wrong. That's awful. But no, I've never sat down and thought, oh, I'll have a quick try of this.
Yeah, I mean, every time we'd try new, I don't do it anymore. I think I got scarred a few times of testing baby food before giving it.
For the temperature and stuff.
No, just curious of, I wonder what this tastes like.
That looks all right.
There was a few of them where I thought, not doing that again.
No, some of them are disgusting.
Oh, this is yummy.
Yeah. Here comes the plane.
Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
I've never done that. I've done it, but it never works.
No. And then you taste the food and you realise why it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I don't want that plane.
I don't want that plane.
That plane's not bringing nice things.
Delayed.
So no, I've eaten them when if there's a bit on the spoon and you've got the same spoon to eat something else, if she's got a yogurt next
Yeah.
and she doesn't want the last mouthful, just quickly,
Quick clean.
yeah, grin and bear it. But they're horrible. Not nice.
I mean, it's easier to do now because she's eating basically the same food that we're eating.
I hope that he doesn't finish his food now, so I can have some. Yeah, if he's got a chocolate pudding or something, I'm like, you finished? Saying that he doesn't eat, that's an awful example. He doesn't like chocolate,
Really?
honestly.
Oh, see, we're in the awkward thing because, my daughter's allergic to everything. So she can't have normal cheese or milk
Yeah.
or soy
She
or
likes
egg.
to eat your open pizza sandwich.
She can't touch my pizza. It's got cheese in it. But it means that even we went out the other day, you have to order special pizza with special cheese. I don't want that. It's rank.
No.
but I'm eating mine. It's yummy, and she's going, yummy. It's like, yeah, it is yummy, knowing full well she's not having what pizza should be.
Oh, it's bolognese our little boy likes. He'll smash a bolognese.
It's a classic.
Yeah, it is. But then if you say, do you want like chicken nuggets? Nope.
Really? Wow.
Which is good. When you order a Happy Meal, you just eat the chips. Got 4 nuggets to myself.
A few chicken nuggets there. Does he have a burger?
No.
Wow.
Honestly, he just likes bolognese, garlic bread.
Oh, that's a good combination.
As seen on a previous episode where he busted through the door with his garlic bread.
That was so cute.
So yeah, I have tried it when it's been unintentional, but I've never... Basically, Daniel, no one else eats rusks like you do.
No, we don't continue trying it afterwards.
Good question, though. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate that.
And we've had another question in from Sam.
Shout out, Sam.
This one's right to the core of what we're facing right now.
Oh, okay. I'm reading it.
It's really
now.
on point. What do you do if your child is causing a tantrum in public?
If they're in the pushchair, wheel them next to another mum and dad. So
Just leave them there.
people think it's theirs.
Not my kid.
No, I've never done that. Never done that. That's a good question. We've done all right, with tantrums. I think people who know our kids maybe will be like, oh, no, you haven't. But I think we've done all right with tantrums. I think there are 2 trains of thought, aren't there? Sometimes it's like you get to the point where they ignore it. And I've read Sam's message, and he's gone into more detail about it, where he says a kid was having a tantrum and the parents would just ignored them.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like, are they ignoring them, or is that their last resort?
It's a tactic.
Is that a tactic?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Not feeding the attention seeking. But so Noah's literally just turned 2, and obviously you hear all this thing, the terrible twos. Up until last week, we were going, I think we've dodged it. She's just so clever. We can just talk to her, just reason with her. She's fine.
She's brilliant.
Yeah, just have a little cry, and then you just talk to her, and it's all okay. How wrong we were.
Oh, my life. No.
Literally, only in the past week or so, she's doing this thing now where she will, what I've called a pre-tantrum. She knows that she's going to ask for something, but she's going to say no, and so she preemptively starts to cry.
Yeah.
Or moan. Example, she came in the other day, no contact with me. She was playing by herself, all doing lovely. Then she found something, and she came into the living room, and she's like, Daddy, can I have this chocolate? Knowing full well the answer's going to be no. It's like, you haven't even asked me yet. It's like already playing on my guilt. But it's almost like now, she has no grip of her emotions. Like, she doesn't understand what's going on. And it's like, they just can't control it sometimes. Now, she doesn't have terrible, terrible tantrums yet. Like, the fear is that, when you're going shopping, you see those kids that are just on the floor screaming and just wailing.
We've never
That's
had
the
that.
fear.
We've never had that.
And it's not at that point yet. However, we have had to introduce the naughty step.
Have you?
Yeah.
Gone for the step?
We've gone for the step, mainly because our daughter's just so defiant. Is you go, that was naughty, and she go, yeah. Then what do you say? Nothing. She knows that she's supposed to say sorry,
Sass.
but she won't. So you're going to have to go sit on the naughty step. The first time, it wasn't too bad. It took us 10 minutes to get to sit there for 2 minutes. But then now, it's like, do you want to go sit on the naughty step? She's like, yeah.
Oh,
So much sass.
oh gosh.
But as soon as she's there, she's not happy about it. So, so we have a tantruming toddler. And it is that point of, well, what do you do? I can understand. I sympathise now with the parents that just, it's got too much. They're just ignoring it. But is that a legit strategy, or do you think they can't bother to deal with it anymore?
It's got to be a last resort, hasn't it? It's like crying, letting them cry themselves to sleep.
Because you've tried everything.
You've tried everything.
Nothing's working.
Yeah. And I've heard some parents go like, right, I'm just going to ignore you now because you're being ridiculous.
Yeah.
Or because, you're not listening or whatever.
And I find that really hard, mainly because my embarrassment.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm trying to discipline my daughter, I get embarrassed in public. Whereas actually, my wife, she does this so well. She's like, look, it's fine. Just let them have a tantrum, and then I'll tell them off properly. I get so embarrassed. But she's like, no, it's more important that she learns right behaviour than my embarrassment.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I suppose it's one of those things like fear of being judged, and people do judge you out and about. If your kid's making a noise, they look and they stare. Like some people will tut or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like breastfeeding versus formula feeding. Everyone's got an opinion, and everyone's happy
As
to
we've
share
seen
it.
recently.
Yeah, as we've seen. TikTok reference there, where a massive debate kicked off on one of our videos that wasn't even about breastfeeding or formula feeding.
What's quite funny is we're both blokes. Doesn't work the same for us.
Not at all. Nothing came out. My milk didn't come in. What's the other one? Sleep. Sort of like the cry it out method or that kind of stuff. Everyone's got an opinion. Everyone wants to share their opinion. And then disciplining your kid. Everyone, even if they know you or not, has something to say.
Everyone has something to say, and also every parent does it differently.
Every parent does it differently.
And that's so difficult, even like with close family and friends, when there's all kids in the mix. And that's probably something that you experienced on holiday, of different parenting styles or things, or slight differences. But everyone's got an opinion, and at the end of the day, it's like as the parent, you know that child best, and so you've got to assume that they know the best way of dealing with it. Although most of the time I have no clue what I'm doing.
Yeah, and that differs between your own kids as well. So
does it?
I'm guessing. So going from my experience of growing up with a sister, it was different to me.
Yeah,
it was like we were kind of disciplined in different ways because my dad or my mum, both. I always think about my dad when I think of discipline. Wonder why. But like they would tell my sister, stop doing it. She'd stop. I wouldn't. So it would differ in.
It's got to be like.
I suppose the approach is the same, but
well, you react differently to different outcomes, don't you?
yeah. So it's not a one size fits all.
No. But I also found, like, genuinely watching Super Nanny growing up has helped so.
Is that where you got
much.
naughty step from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Genuinely, and even things of like making sure that when we're telling her off, like getting to a level, eye contact, like remaining calm and just like not shouting, all that, because they don't understand. Like it's just there's so much new like emotion and stuff going on. To add then another layer of confusion,
Throw it in.
yeah, and like I see it because it's actually even when she's so fixated on like they get fixated with the stupidest things, like getting that ball or like picking a different sticker.
Yeah.
Like when you're trying to tell them off, all they can think about is that sticker, and it's like
Forget the sticker.
Yeah. I'm trying to tell you off here.
Yeah.
But yeah, just having that kind of different perspective of like what discipline looks like. So I always think of Super Nanny when doing
I wonder what she's up to these days. Is she still going? Like,
Oh, maybe.
I mean, are the program's still going? Like, I hope she's in good health. But
I don't know. All I remember, do you remember that one on America where the kid was like, bacon is good for me?
that wasn't that one.
What
that was
that?
Wife Swap.
Was it?
Yeah. And
I love how you know
King
that.
Curtis. I watched it live. I watched it when it came out, and then because he kicked off, didn't he? Like he went big. So I watched it, and my sister came home, and I was like, "You've got to watch this, lad." So I watched it on +1, and then there you go, King Curtis.
Wow. I always thought it was Super Nanny.
No, that was Wife Swap. But they had this like super healthy mum going to the family that loved junk food.
Yeah, I remember it so well.
She can't run in those little high heels.
She can't chase me.
Oh, shout out King Curtis. King Curtis, if you're listening, get in touch.
So, let us know, listeners, what you do when your kids having a tantrum. But also, what's the funniest thing your child has done whilst throwing a tantrum where you have had to keep a straight face because they're throwing a tantrum?
My little boy in the airport yesterday, he had a bit of an itch on his belly, but like just under his belly button.
Yeah.
Just started to pull his trousers down. He's like, "Mummy, I need some sun cream." So he just started, we're like, "Right, put your trousers up." We just put like a bit of Sudocrem on his belly, but it must have been under where his like trouser belt was, and he just dropped trow in the airport. We got there in time.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Thank you, Sam. And final question came from Lauren. Best parenting hack. And I've got a good one for this.
Oh, go on, you go first.
So we've got some friends who have got a child similar age to our oldest. And when it comes to giving them Calpol, you have the little syringes or a spoon. Sometimes they're too young for the spoon, so you go for the syringe. They spit it out. She said to us, get a teat from your bottle.
Yeah.
Squirt the Calpol into the teat and then put that in their mouth. They're thinking they've got a bottle, and they're just going for the cowpole.
Oh, really?
No spillage, no spitting.
Is it like, because cowpole's quite thick, does it get through?
It does.
Oh, wow.
Slowly.
Slowly.
But yeah, it gets through.
Because we've had to given many a cowpole, many an ibuprofen, all different flavours. I prefer the strawberry one myself.
Can't beat OG cowpole.
But we just do a countdown, and she knows now when she sees the cowpole. We've
Yeah.
got five little squirts of the syringe, but that's because we had to give it so often. Whereas now she'll go, "Oh, I'm poorly. I need cowpole."
Yeah, we get that.
She's just lying.
Yeah.
She just wants the high.
But no, I've not got any other hacks really that come to mind. But that's a good one for the listeners. Listeners, get in touch. What are your best parenting hacks? Let us know.
Amazing. So, George, how was your holiday?
Do you know what? It was great. So we've never been away on like abroad with friends with kids. So I was thinking that the flight was going to be horrific.
Because that's like the fear, right? The flight is a big put off for like so many parents.
Yeah. And because we were with friends, I thought Luca's just going to want to go and find them. But they were the row in front, so it was fine. So it was a lot better than I expected. But I noticed something getting onto the flight back. So on the flight there, we were one of the first on.
Yeah.
On the flight back, we were one of the last on. It was quite full plane. So we walk on, and I'm holding our baby. And you just get a look. And because people are sat down, they're at a lower height than you are, they look up with their eyes. No one looks up with their head at you because it's obvious. So they just glance up at you. And it is like, when you walk onto a plane with a baby, it is like you have walked on with a weapon.
Yeah.
And people are giving you this look of, you're going to ruin this for me. And you just know that everyone's looking at you thinking that.
Everyone's thinking that.
Yeah, that baby is going to ruin this.
Going to ruin the holiday, even though it's the end.
Yeah.
Going to ruin the whole holiday.
Yep, going to ruin this flight for me. And it's a night flight. I just want to get some sleep. Your baby's going to be kicking off. And you're walking through just with like a nervous, like trying to shuffle through. So I just made a little joke. We got to the people that we were sharing a row with, and I went, "Oh, you're the lucky ones, are you?" And they had a boy who was about 16, 15. So they were like, "Oh, we've been there." And this was an issue that my wife raised. People are too nice. So I'm thinking everyone's really judgmental. We're trying to get our baby to sleep, and people love babies, don't they? And we've got a really smiley baby.
Yeah.
So all these ladies are waving to we're trying to get her asleep, and she's just like waving at all these people because they're waving at her, and we're thinking, right, it's 10 o'clock. She needs to go to sleep. But yeah, it was funny, the looks of judgment of, you are going to ruin this. As you walk down the aisle with a baby.
Because it's what you think, isn't it? Especially like before you have kids, you're like, "Oh, I don't want to be sat next to a baby."
Yeah.
Because most of them just cry all the time. And then you see like these posts online where it's like people, like the super parents, give everyone around like a little pack of earbuds and all those sorts of things. No one's doing that.
Or have you seen those ones where someone else like gets up and helps?
Really?
Yeah, it's like, my baby won't go down, and this lady could say I was stressed, so she offered to help.
I don't know how I'd feel about that.
I think great.
Go fair, the plane not going anywhere.
Yeah, just bring her back for the return flight.
How long was the flight?
4.5 hours.
So that's actually that's
quite a while.
What did you do for like entertainment?
So iPad, and we don't do the iPad much, but
Coming in clutch.
desperate times, yeah, coming in clutch. iPad with the deep 3 in the fourth quarter.
This is something that I found out recently. Peppa Pig and all those things, they are making a killing on those iPad games. We haven't done games or anything until last week when I was like, I just need to find something which isn't mind-numbingly just entertainment.
Cocomelon.
Yeah.
It isn't Cocomelon.
Downloaded a Peppa Pig game, £54 for the year.
Did you pay it?
No.
Oh yeah, good for you.
We've got the one demo game.
And it comes up like your grown-up needs to put in the pin.
Well, no, it's the first thing you see. Literally one click and you spent £54. Or you can pay £5.99 a month. That one's in my memory for when times get desperate.
Yeah.
That might already be done by next week. But they're making a killing of these games.
Yeah, they don't know. The iPad came through, so we downloaded a few films and all that kind of stuff. And then baby fell asleep. Obviously, it's a 4.5 hour flight, so it's more like hour nap time, hour and a half. So yeah, I'd say toddler was great. Just sat down with the iPad, and then his little mate was in the row in front, so they were fine together. Baby would not stay still.
She's not.
Really hard work. So I went to the back of the plane, said to the stewardesses, and stewardesses, the flight attendants,
There you
said
go.
to them, do you mind if I just stand here and try and get to sleep? They're like, no, take your time. And got chatting to them, had a nice little bit of conversation. And there was a guy on the very back seat asleep.
Oh no.
And she put up a fight. And I just saw him, like, he's asleep on his hand, on his fist. I just saw his finger come out and go in his ear. And then you've got, like, people a few rows in front kind of giving you the glance over the shoulder. So they were fine, and no one was bad.
Ah, but there's nothing you can do, is there? There's nothing you can do. And it's always like the logistics of taking a baby on holiday. Like that's a lot of stuff to go in, like all the milk and all that sort of stuff, trying to figure that out. Like, it is quite intense. And then everybody else's expectations and judgment on top of that.
Here's a parenting hack for you.
Oh, go on.
So we were in the passport control coming back, and they let the families go down a different
Do they?
aisle. Yeah, it's great.
Do they? I've
it's
never
great.
noticed that.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Honestly, it's really good. You just go straight to the front. But there was quite a big queue for the family bit. And one of the staff members from the airport goes, oh, excuse me, we've got a passenger on board not feeling too well. Can they come through? And it's this family of 4, and there's this kid walks, and he's just got a really sad face on. And I am telling you, with 100% confidence, there was nothing wrong with this boy. He was about 9 or 10, just walking down really sad. And then they get to the front of the queue. He sits down on the floor. So, like, he's really selling it. Straight through. Everyone got out of their way. And they just went through. So, I think Mum and Dad just said to him, remember, you're ill. Really lie down if you need to. Act sad. And he just walks through, big sad face, lies down on the floor, and then they go through first.
Do you reckon that would work if you're an adult?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel really ill.
No one wants to clear up sick.
That's true. Yeah, I feel a bit.
Yep. But yeah, there you go. There's a parenting hack.
Get through the airport.
But no, they do. They let you through quickly, and we've got a big old double push chair. Throw everything on that.
Oh, yeah.
Lucas said the highlight of his holiday was sitting on the back case.
Oh.
And I'll have to unpack that. So he calls his suitcase and his backpack his back case. Gets the two mixed up. And suitcase's handle come up.
Yeah.
He sits on the suitcase, holding onto the handle, and I pull him.
That sounds good fun.
So we're in the airport. He sat on the back case before he dropped trousers. And I said to him, what was the highlight of your holiday? What's your favourite bit? He went, sitting on the back case. I was thinking, brilliant. Good one. Not the water parks that we've been to. Not the whale show that we saw. Saw whales.
Nice.
Dolphin show.
Wow.
But yeah, that was cool to see, like, killer whales and stuff, and all that kind of stuff was really nice. Saw a gorilla.
What, at the whale show?
It was a zoo. It was a zoo.
That makes sense.
So we went to a zoo, took the kids to a zoo, and we saw a gorilla, and at the zoo there was a dolphin and a whale show.
But then its highlight is, the bit
Its
that's
highlight
free.
was sitting on a suitcase in an airport.
What was the evenings like?
Fine.
So did you like brave it a few times and take them out?
Yeah.
And just
Again,
brave.
iPad was charged and came with us. But one thing that was, and this is kind of a daddy issue, I think.
Ooh.
Our friends, their little girl, likes to run away, likes to run off, as we discovered when we were away.
That gives me anxiety.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Luca liked to follow her.
Oh, no.
So she would go, he would go. We'd go, Luca, Grace, come back. And they would just go. They would run. So we had to do like a bit of recall training, shadow dog, in the hotel one evening, where we'd go, right, walk to the fridge, stop. And he'd stop. I'd go, right, come back to daddy. And he'd come back. Go, right, walk to the fridge again, stop. Right, now Gracie keeps going. What do? He was like, I run? I'm like, no, you don't run. You say, Gracie, stop, and you come back. So yeah, full on like dog training with our little boy to get him to stop running off in Spain.
Yeah, I've noticed that recently. Like, even like Noah's getting quick. All right, she's running. She's not that quick. I can still catch her. But they don't respond to the like stop. They'll just like happily toddling away. No idea what all the dangers of the world.
Yeah, it worked. It worked though. The little game that we did, it worked really well. And I was dead proud of him because he sorted it out next day. Shouted stop and he'd come back. So
There we go. He's well trained.
Brilliant, yeah.
Child
It's just the
dog.
fact that he sat down and said pour after it.
Comes you with a ball in his mouth.
Just rolls over.
So one thing I've noticed, and so it was bank holiday recently, and we took Noah to the aquarium, Sea Life
love an
Centre
aquarium.
in Manchester, and it was great. It was amazing. One thing I noticed and almost reminded of pre-children is that when you don't have kids, or you don't have like kids that are quite close in relatives, like nephews or nieces, just to clarify. Like you have no concept of what a baby's like or needs.
Yep.
And so you just treat them like other adults. And so they were at this point where there was some jellyfish and there was a button on the side. You could change all the different colours. It was really cool. And there was just this couple there, clearly didn't have kids.
Young couple.
Yeah, young couple.
Yeah.
You could just tell the air of no responsibility.
Yeah, just looking really happy.
It probably took them 5 minutes to get ready to come out.
Just look fresh.
Yeah.
Slept all night, did you?
But you could just see, there was this moment where Noah was changing the colours and she was being patient. She was waiting in between and you could see this guy wanted to change the colour to purple or something. And you just saw his interaction with my 2-year-old daughter was so awkward to watch. It was just
How so?
it's really hard to explain. It's when you see a kid's playing with something, you don't just go in and go, oh, I'll have that one.
My turn.
Yeah. It was like that. It was just oh, that was really odd.
All right, mate, you've had your time.
It's like she has a concept of all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. But it was just really bizarre.
Really?
Yeah.
What a weirdo.
But before I had kids, I had no idea of how a child processes things, and I'm sure I was so ignorant to so much stuff of parenting. When we took Noah to where we used to live, we visited there recently, and there was these teenagers that I used to run their youth club, and 4 of them you could tell out of 5 had younger siblings or cousins that were young. 'Cause they knew how to interact with a 2-year-old. One of them just stuck his fist out and went, safe. And one of them turned to him and went, you don't know how to talk to kids, do you?
Used to. Safe.
It's just that concept of if you don't have kids in your life, you just have no idea how to interact with them. And I just thought it was really weird and also really funny.
Yeah, that's for safe. I'm gonna say that next time I see her. See if she knows. Yeah, we were at dinner recently, with I won't say who they were, just in case it embarrasses them. But our little baby was crying, and she was just like, "Why is she crying?" She's a baby. It's either sleep, poo, or milk. One of the 3.
Oh, we've had that. Why can't you just calm them down?
Can't you make it stop?
Are they hungry? Just feed them. Sometimes they just cry.
Sometimes they just cry. So yeah, you can tell with some people that don't have kids that they're okay with kids, they like kids, and you can tell with others it's just I don't want this around. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there was this couple behind us in the queue for passport control or whatever, and they didn't have kids with them, quite young, but they were really nice. They were smiling at the kids, and then after a while, it's okay, I've smiled at you now. You can go smile at someone else. They were lovely, but our little girl kept going back to them, and I felt a bit sorry for them. But
they've been trapped.
Yeah. And you can't go anywhere.
And you feel like there's an obligation there.
Yeah. Just smile every time. Hiya.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that?
But yeah, what else can you say?
Not much.
Exactly. But when we were away, as said, we went with people that have got kids our age. I think one thing that I noticed is that even though our parenting styles were similar, we're obviously different people, so therefore we interact with our kids differently, and we parent differently, and it re-emphasised the thing for me that there's just no right or wrong.
Yeah.
We've talked about at the start of this episode. People are very individual, to the point where we were talking to our friends, and my mate Luke, I've known him since I was a teenager. I've known him for a long time. So you're chatting a bit more openly with people. And he said, I do things in one way. His wife will do things in a different way. So there's different parenting styles between couples, but then there's different parenting styles within couples, and it's all fine. There's no right, well, there's a wrong, but like
There is a wrong way.
generally speaking, there's no right and wrong approach to parenting. It's just whatever works for you and whatever allows you to survive. The whole happy mum, happy baby thing.
Yeah.
Happy parent, happy baby. But it was really nice to go away with people with kids our age and like just chat, talk quite openly about the struggles of.
Were there any like contentious points where you, I wouldn't do that?
Not contentious, but there's things where you think, okay, I wouldn't have done it that way.
Yeah.
But then I have that with my wife anyway. Like there's certain things where it all depends on your mood, doesn't it? I can approach a situation with my little boy 10 times on 10 different days in 10 different moods, and it'd be different. So yeah, nothing contentious. It was all great, and it was nice that we know them well enough to just leave the kids with them.
Yeah.
So we went to this water park and it was amazing. And I'm like splashing around in the kids' pool with the kids, and I'm thinking, come on now, there's some really cool rides over there. So like left them with them and went on some cool rides myself. Had a bit of back sunburn, and then there was this one slide where you just go down vertically.
Nice.
And then at the bottom you skim across the water on your back.
Nice.
I've got sunburn on the back. So I'm there like loving life. Yeah. All of a sudden I'm like, this is horrible.
That's like the beauty. I was like, a beauty spot. That's like the sweet spot of like being able to leave your kids with somebody else and enjoy it at the same time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just in the kids' pool the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's just
You get a bad back.
get back.
You're just leaning over, especially when like your baby starts to walk and you're doing the whole thing of they hold your hands.
Yeah.
Oh mate, my back is so sore.
But it's just because so much of parenting is dictated by what they want to do.
Yeah.
And like make sure that they have a good time.
Yeah.
That actually being able to just switch off. Because that's the thing on holidays. If you go on holiday by yourself and you've got kids, it is all about the kids because you want them to be in a good mood. That's the only way you're going to have a good holiday.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've got other people there that can give you a little bit of a break as well.
If your kids don't have a good holiday, you don't have a good holiday.
100%. And you can't just have a good holiday and bring them along.
No, well, we had a comment, didn't we, on one of the TikTok videos saying like, why do people bother? Why do you bring kids along?
Oh, really?
They just ruin everything. You can't enjoy it. People on the flight don't enjoy it.
Those people looking at you as you...
Yeah. So that was a fun comment to read. Shout out to whoever it was. Can't remember the username.
Why are they looking at parenting TikToks?
I don't know. I thought you're in the wrong place. You got to know your audience.
That's the wrong demographic.
Don't know why you bother. I reckon they must have had like a bad flight and just thought, right, let's go on TikTok.
Just give some grief.
Search #parenting and just let my feelings be known. Where can I find a load of parents to annoy? Go to TikTok.
And like there is that thing of like with my friends without kids, they won't understand the joy of a lot of parenting until eventually they either have kids or know someone really well enough where they can see that joy for themselves. Because otherwise it's just, why would you do that? That's not fun. Like, yeah, some of it's hard, but we took Noah swimming. And it was like constantly back and forth between the kids' pool and the little lazy pool and all that sort of stuff. Before having kids, we're like, that is just a waste of time.
Just
like,
lazy pool all day.
Why can't I have fun? But, and yeah, there was an element where it was just like, okay, back to the other thing. But I had so much fun just through that experience. And until you've got kids, you just don't understand that.
No.
And I was definitely in that camp before of I had no idea how to talk to kids before having kids or even aware of any sort of the struggle that parents have of just getting out the door on time. I had no frame of reference and just so naive to it all. Whereas now it's like a whole new world has opened up.
Wait till you've got to. I remember, honestly, people who say, oh, getting out the door with the baby is horrific. And we were fine because my wife is very organised. So like the bag would be, if we were going out in the morning, she'd get the bag ready the night before. It's there. You just stick the baby in the car seat and you go.
That's a parenting hack.
Honestly, brilliant.
Prepare.
Yeah. Top tool. But with two, it's a game changer. Like you get the baby ready, toddler runs off.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, right, get him back, shoes on. The baby's now crying. Okay, stick her dummy in. He's now gone again. Yeah. And it's just like, takes
and like
a long time.
We're now at the point where Noah's 2. I can now understand why people are going like, if you're going to have more than one, do it while they're still young. Because no, it is getting so much easier, like by the day. She understands more. We don't have to take as much stuff with us. And like, I imagine the more they get older, not the easier, but the less intense it is. So it's like, do you really want to then throw a baby in the mix when you've got a 14-year-old?
14? Goodness me. That is babysitter ready. Just primed, ready to go.
That's one reason I suppose you would.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, free childcare.
I'm not going to. Not at all. No, we started doing this thing recently. So outside our house is a nice open bit of grass.
Yeah.
As soon as we open the front door, our little boy's out and he's on this grass, and it's fine because it's a pretty safe neighbourhood and all good. But getting him from the grass to the car a few weeks ago was quite hard. So I just started to turn the engine on, and then he'd be like, "No, don't go, don't go," and he'd run to the car. I'm like, "Right, get in." So he's on the grass the other day, as he does. I said to my wife, "Film this, because it's quite funny, isn't it?" Turn the engine on, it doesn't move. Someone's just turned the engine on, I think. And it doesn't move. So I said, "We're going." And he just went, "See ya."
No.
Little wave. I was like, all right, okay, that wasn't as funny. Get in the car.
No.
So yeah, that didn't work. So yeah, come a long way from the question of how was the holiday.
I can't believe that's where we started.
Yeah, but it was great. It was great. And whilst I was on holiday, we released the last episode with Emily.
We did.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Loved it. We've had some, I've had some really nice feedback from people.
I've had some terrible feedback. That's some nice messages too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
It was an odd one for me to re-listen to. So it was odd even like doing the episode, but then even weirder re-listening to it again. But no, I thought it was really good.
There was quite a tender moment that I enjoyed where so there was quite a tender moment that I enjoyed where it was obviously quite an emotional bit, and I saw you put your hand out to hold Emily's hand, and she put her hand out and picked up a drink.
Do you know what? I asked her about that because I was like, I went to reach your hand and you just ignored me. Like, if anyone that was watching, it's like, we hate each other. And she was like, no, it was a serious response. She said, I couldn't hold your hand because if I went for it, I'd just started crying.
Yeah.
I went, oh,
So
you could have said that.
Just left you hanging
But
instead.
she didn't tell me that until I asked.
Just left you high and dry. Tell you what was weird though, was seeing the other side of your face. Because we normally sit this way. Emily was obviously on the other side of you. You look different from the left.
Well, it's the better side.
I thought, what's he been doing? Anti-aging cream? Full night's sleep?
One routine.
So yeah, thank you once again to Emily for coming on and being the first female on the pod.
First female on the pod.
And being very nice to you. She was nice to you.
Yeah, only on camera. I can't say that. Yeah, amazing. If you are listening to this or watching on YouTube, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We could really do with the boost in confidence.
YouTube's lagging behind.
It is lagging behind, but it also helps us behind the scenes.
People always say that. I still don't know how.
When we find out, we'll let you know how.
I've always heard people on YouTube say it, and now we're doing YouTube. I still don't know what it means.
But if you're listening to this on audio, wherever you listen to your podcast, please do leave a review. That actually does help, because then people sit and go, that's worth my time.
Yeah.
And if it's not, send us a message.
Yeah, let us know how we can improve. Or funny stories, daddy issues, anything you want to discuss. Parenting hacks, miserable moments. Miserable moments, parenting hacks. Please do get in touch and let us know.
Amazing episode. We're past double digits now.
Yeah.
On the way to the teens.
At what point do we stop saying what episode we're on?
I think we're heading there now.
So yeah, thank you for listening once again, and we'll see you next week.